going to talk to y'all just for a minute, and then I'm going to bring Blair on. But I wanted to talk to you a minute about wealth principles. We're here to create wealth, right? Who wants to be wealthy? All right. So if, pardon me for using my notes, but I've got to do that or else I will get way off track and y'all won't get to hear from Blair. So if you're not fully, totally, and truly committed to creating wealth, guess what? It ain't going to happen. That's exactly right. The number one reason why most people don't get what they want is because they don't know what they want. Did y'all see my little alien video? That was just crazy. But it was so true. If you don't know what you want, you're not going to get it. Money's only going to make you more of what you already are. If you're kind, you're going to be kinder. If you're generous, you're going to be more generous. If you're mean, it'll make you do meaner things. I mean, it's just going to, it's going to give you, you will be more of what you already are when you make money. So just remember that. Money's not bad. We hear that money is the root of all evil. That's not true. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. And so we have to remember that it's okay to be wealthy. It's okay to make money. And it'll help you to become a better giver. Just crazy giving. When you have all of your things already paid for and your bills paid and you're out of debt and you still got money coming in like crazy, you got to give it away, right? So that's what you got your hands on. It's an opportunity to do that. Until you can show that you can handle the money, you're not going to get any more. We have to be good stewards of the money that God has blessed us with. The habit of managing your money is more important than the amount. You've got to be good in the little things, right? Okay, so here's a couple of suggestions. You're going to open a separate bank account. Call it your financial freedom account. You're going to put 10% of every dollar you receive after taxes. You're going to use that for investments and buying or creating passive income streams like your business. Don't ever spend this money. When you retire, you get to spend the income from this. So let's see, wait a minute. When you retire, you get to spend the income from the fund, but never the principal. It will continue to grow, and you will never go broke. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you only have a few dollars to put into this account, do it. Again, until you show you can handle what you got, you won't get any more. These principles, you guys, I got this from a book called The Millionaire Mindset, or what is it? T. Harv Eker, his book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That's the name of the book. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Do you want to be a millionaire? Yeah. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't, we're done.
Yeah. Blair said if they don't, we're done. Y'all, you want to create a financial freedom jar at home. Now, this is something that you're just going to put money in it every day. If it's just the last few pennies you got in your pocket, you put money in that jar every day, every day, every day. No matter how much it is, put a little more money in that jar every day. The secret is to place that daily attention on putting that money up. You're going to become a money magnet. There has to be a balance. 10% goes into a play account. That's money that you're going to spend. That's money that you need to spend every month. Take 10% of the money you're bringing in and spend it on whatever you want. You got to spend it on some extravagant things, whatever that means to you. Use it to nurture yourself. Take care of yourself. Go get a pedicure. Go get manicures or whatever. The only way you're going to stick to a savings plan is if you offset it with that play money. So allow yourself to do that. Put 10% of your money into long-term savings for spending. 10% into an education account for your self-improvement. Not talking necessarily about going to college or anything, but putting money to go to seminars and going to the functions and going more and become more of who you were intended to be. Conference. You definitely need to be putting your money up for conference for January. That's just a given. You got to go to conference, or you're just not going to make it if you don't go to conference. Conference changes everything. 50% of your money needs to go into a necessities account, just to pay the bills, and then 10% of your money needs to go into your give account to give. All right, this is really good. The difference between rich people and poor people. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. Rich people believe you can have your cake and eat it too. Middle class people believe cake is too rich, so I'll take only a little piece. Poor people don't believe they deserve the cake, so they order a donut, focus on the whole, and wonder why they have nothing. Isn't that good? Okay, now along with that, I'm going to go through some of these. There's 40 of these things here, but I'm not going to go through them all, and I can get this for you, okay? So and I can get you those notes too. But there are major causes for failure. Why do we fail? One of them is you have the habit of drifting. You got to know where you're going at all times. That's why it's so important to know what you want, to have that target, to go after that. So you have this habit of drifting. That's one cause of failure. Another one is meddlesome curiosity with other people's affairs. There's a difference in curiosity and meddlesome curiosity. Keep your nose out of other people's businesses. A lack of purpose of a lifetime goal. Again, that's wondering, knowing what you want. You got to have that clear. You got to know exactly what you want. Lack of self-discipline. Lack of ambition to aim beyond mediocrity. You got to aim high. Ill health due to wrong thinking or a poor diet. That's a cause for failure. Unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. People will let their upbringing determine their success in life. They never rise above their circumstances. They use it as an excuse. It's a cause of failure. Lack of persistence in following through. Lack of motivation. Just remember this, you guys. People do what they want to do. Bottom line. The habit of negative attitude. Negative repels people. Positive attracts. If you've got negative stuff going on, if you're thinking negative, you can't help but be negative. And if you wonder why people are not coming into your business, you have to look at what's going on. What are you focused on? And that sends off it's like a subconscious or a subliminal shield. Yes, and it's like you're telling people stay away. Don't come near me when you're negative like that. Lack of control over emotions, negative and positive. You know, there has to be a balance. You can be, cautious, but you can also be undercautious. You can be excited, but then you can be just crazy, weird excited. You don't want to do that. So you got to keep it in check. Sometimes people are just too much for somebody. Do y'all know people like that?
No.
They just get in your face and they're just too much.
No.
So check that. It's a desire for something for nothing. You're going to have to work. This is not something for nothing. But it's about the best something for that little something that you put into it, right? A lack of reaching decisions promptly and firmly. You can't be wishy-washy and waffling around. You got to become decisive. You got to know. You got to be willing to make that decision and go for it, but then also be willing to reverse that decision if you realize that wasn't the right one. Should have thought this out better.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Oh. Okay, fear. Fear is another cause for failure. But it's not so much the fear as it is you allowing it to stop you. We're all fearful. We all have fear. We all are afraid to get up and speak in front of people. But you do it anyway. You got to face your fear and do it anyway. Otherwise, it is a cause for failure. Okay. A wrong selection of a mate in marriage. All marriages are not made in heaven. This applies to a business marriage as well. There's got to be harmony, loyalty, and dependability, and trust. Lack of caution in all circumstances. No diplomacy, no discernment, no discrimination. Again, there has to be a balance. The wrong selection of a vocation. A negative or a neglect of major definite purpose. Meaning if you're in a job and it pays the bills, okay. But your focus has got to be on your definite purpose in life. And so you got to find what it is that's going to get you that purpose. I happen to think It Works can do that for you. Failure to cooperate with others in a spirit of harmony. That's a cause for failure. Possession of power or wealth that is not earned. Lack of spirit of loyalty to whom it is due. The habit of forming opinions based on the lack of knowledge. You got to look at where the fruit on the tree is. That's who you listen to. A lack of vision. You've got to know what it is you want. You've got to use your imagination. You've got to believe. Egotism. Out of control. It's all good. We all got some ego. But when it's out of control, it's going to get you in trouble. You got to keep it in check. Unwillingness to go the extra mile with joy. Wow. You've got to be willing to joyfully and with good attitude go that extra mile. Not so much that it's going to help you get what you want, just because it's the right thing to do. Right? A couple more, and then I'm going to bring Blair up. Oh, desire for revenge for real or imaginary grievances. Both are bad. It makes you negative, and it poisons your mind and your blood. The habit of producing alibis to justify neglecting your responsibilities. It's always an excuse, right? The desire for good things in life, but you're not willing to assume the responsibility to entitle you for those good things. Failure to obey your conscience when it seems advantageous to do so. That's powerful. God gave you a conscience to be your judge advocate, always knowing right from wrong. You have to listen to that voice. It's easy to convert your conscience to be a conspirator in wrongdoing. You can talk yourself into doing something wrong by justifying it. It's a cause for failure. The habit of unnecessary worry over things you can't control. The neglect to recognize the difference between failure and temporary defeat. Failure is failure when you accept it as such, no matter what the circumstances are. But we're going to fail our way all the way to the top.
Right.
You don't accept it as defeat. And I think Blair said that at conference. You're going to fail your way to the top. And I just want you to know, you guys, you have your hands on something really, really special. And we're here to help you. There are people in this room that are here to help you. Everybody who spoke today is here to help you. All you got to do is do something with it. Get out and go for it. Go do something with this business that God put in your hands. And I'd love for y'all to just really help me. I am so blessed to be married to a man that told me when we had already been in all these other things, and he's like, you know, I'll support you in anything you want to do. And you go for it. And then he helps me. He helps me to achieve what I needed to get done so we could retire him. And, you know, he's just my biggest cheerleader. And he helps me every step of the way. You know, he's not too proud. He does his own laundry now. He does my laundry. He cooks his own meals. He'll cook mine sometimes, you know. He's learned how to do the things that he never, ever did when he was working. And so, you know, I am so appreciative to have my husband in my life that, you know, and there's a good guy out there. If you girls, if you're looking, there's good guys out there. I promise there are. And if your husband's not on board with you right now, just make some money and he'll get on board. I promise you. Money speaks. It talks. So would y'all please help me welcome my husband, Blair McFarlane.
I better not mess this up, huh? Trying to get some of my stuff there. I got some notes and books, and I probably won't even look at any of it. But what an afternoon, huh? Woo! Everybody okay? Need to stand up and shake your tail feather a little bit? I learned a long time ago that the mind can only comprehend what the rear end can withstand. So, you know, if you gotta, I got to scoot back a little bit. If you got to shake it out, I understand. If you just get up and do your own happy dance, I don't know what's going on. You know, especially you guys out there. But what an awesome team of people that present to you today, man. I'm just sitting back there taking it in and writing notes, and man, it's awesome. Mel and I both, we learned from all you guys, you know. And I've turned that air up 5 times, and my guy back here keeps turning it down. So anyway, if you're cold, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Because I'm usually hot as a firecracker, and if you can get me cold, man, it's cold in here. Here's what I want to do in the time we have left. I want to talk a little bit about the vision of where we're going, and then kind of tie into a little bit of what Melody was saying. What's going to stop you from doing that? We got any guests left? Did we lose you? Did we freeze you out? Okay. How many people have only been in this thing since January? You've been in it works since January. Wave at me. Let me know who I'm talking to. Several. Okay. How many been in for less than a year? Like a year or less? A lot more. Okay, I want to put that out there because we've been at this for a while. Next month will be 9 years. It's hard to believe, but 9 years. And I always want to look at this with fresh eyes, if that makes any sense. Because we've been through a lot. I met a gal earlier today, and she got in back when we got in. And it wasn't like this then, was it? It wasn't anything like this back then, was it? There was no party pad. There were no Blitz cards. There wasn't all these cool products. I think we had 7 products. But we had the Wrap, and we had a dream. And they had Mark Pentecost and Pam Souter. And when we met those 2 people, we were like, wow, I don't know where this crazy thing's going, but we're going to find out. And we're going to hang on through whatever it takes. And we're going to make it. We didn't know. We had no idea where this company was going to go. But I can tell you where it's going now.
All
the way up. The whole business of network marketing. It has taken 60 years for network marketing to hit the first 100 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. 1 billion. 1,000 million. So $1 billion is 1,000 millionaires. Right? 100 billion. How many millionaires is that? Put a 0 on it, right? Okay, y'all with me?
Yep.
Took 60 years to do the first 100 billion. Now, here we are, 60, 65 years into the start of this crazy business called network marketing. In the next 10 to 15 years, it's going to add another 100 billion in network marketing to 200 billion. And then in about 5 to 7 years from then, it's going to double that to $400 to $500 billion worldwide in network marketing. I'm talking B with the B word. For that to happen, it's a lot of people making a lot of money. A lot of money. And like Melody was saying, if people got to hang up on money, they just don't understand it. Mother Teresa, anybody heard of Mother Teresa? One of the most awesome people that ever walked the planet Earth, probably besides Jesus Christ, said, you have to have before you can give. Mother Teresa said that. People got it all turned around wrong in their mind, that it's wrong to have money. We've been talking about that a little bit today. But you can't do anything without money. It's like Zig Ziglar said, it's right up there next to oxygen. You know? I can't even drive my car home if I don't have money to put in the gas tank. And I can't help anybody if I don't have any money. I can't be blessed to be a blessing if I don't have money to put into the plate when it comes around, Pastor. Or to give to Appalachian children for shoes in the winter when it gets cold and these kids ain't got no shoes or they don't have any food, you know? So don't get all hung up on that. Don't listen to the populism of the world sometimes. It talks all about this bad money thing, you know? Man, don't let them take you down that path, okay? You got to get over that somehow, you know? And some of that comes from when we were little bitty kids growing up. All right? So here we go. We're going on this vision of what we're going to do in this crazy thing called network marketing. And It Works Global is at the cutting edge of what's happening in all these companies throughout the world. The growth curve of what we're on right now is just astronomical. Astronomical. Just 2 years ago, the vision of Mark Pentecost, who this guy's got big vision, big dreams, was to double the company. We're going to double the company. We're going to go from $50 million a year in sales to $100 million a year in sales with our company. Going to double it. That's a pretty good goal in the economy right now today in America. How many companies are doubling right now? Any? Anybody know any that's doubling in this economy? So we're going to double the company. That was the goal for the year. Everybody came out of conference with their hair on fire, and Drury and Chad took off. I think they were a big part of that while we ran out of wraps, you know. But June, we hit Mark's goal by June. We doubled the company by June and had the wrap shortage. And some people quit. Some people quit because we couldn't get wraps for a few weeks. And, I mean, we laugh, or I try not to, but I hate it for those people. They're still not with us today. They're missing the biggest part of what's getting ready to happen now because they couldn't get wraps for a few weeks. Who was it talking about the hair, skin, and nails? It's one of the hottest products we got, Tina, whatever. Our job as distributors is to put these products on back order, y'all.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
That's our job. Our job is to take the numbers and put this stuff on back order. My gosh. Don't you think GM would like to have cars on back order? Apple would like to have computers on back order? Come on now, let's get real. Who in America wouldn't want that for their company? They've sold it all. They've sold it all. There is no more. Woo! Oh, I'm going to quit. And they did. I'm sorry for those. I told them, now's the time to vote Greens. Now's the time to vote Vital, ProFit, Essential Bars. Talk about the other stuff at your parties. Don't quit having parties. Duh. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. I'm telling you. The way it is out there in this economy, it's a new era economy today. I'm from that generation when my parents taught all of us, I'll be 59 like Mel here in October. Our parents taught us you go to school, you get a good education, you get a good job, you work hard, you keep your nose clean, you'll get ahead in life. It's one of the biggest lies that you can tell your kids right now today in America. That's how we were raised. All this corporate America, this college degree stuff, everything you've heard today from this platform has been from people who have done it and are doing it.
Yes.
And not from some professor sitting there teaching you out of a book what they think will happen if you do this, 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 and this. You hear me?
Yes.
There's real people out there doing real things, affecting real people in a positive way. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. You take your eyes off yourself and you put it on some other people, and you'll get what you want. Okay? Are you with me? I'm shouting for the people out there too. It's a new era today. You know, those days are long gone. Here's the kids with master's degrees, and they're going to go back to school and get another degree. I don't know why. They can't find a job, so that's all they know to do. So they're going to go in more debt to get a bigger degree, when if they just go presidential diamond or whatever the numbers are, it's like, my gosh. My gosh. Our goal is to bust those numbers on that chart and double those. You guys saw those numbers earlier. That's the average annual income from last year for distributors and networks. That's pretty powerful. And then all those people that made those numbers happen, when the renewal time comes up, 86%, 85% renewed into this year. Wow, they're getting smarter, right? They didn't quit, you know? And it blows my mind. New people, I'm talking to you guys too, you guys and gals, you're brand new people. There was an awesome man, he's probably responsible for more people becoming millionaires in America than anybody in history. His name was Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill. He was hired by Andrew Carnegie to do a study on really successful people. I'm talking about like the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, Henry Ford, you know, these big names you hear. And he came back, 20 years, he studied these people and interviewed them and talked to them and followed their careers. J.C. Penney, Sears and Roebuck people, all these big name people. And he came back and he said the number one reason why people fail is they take advice from the wrong people. And these were people that loved them, had their best interest in heart, but didn't know what they were talking about. So you brand new people. Right now, you've got people spinning through your mind. If you don't, maybe you won't do this, I don't know, but you've got these people that are spinning through your mind. Boy, if Betty Joe will do this, and Timmy will do this, and Sally Jane will do this, oh, I'll be right to the top. I just know it, I just know it, I just know it. You know, I'm going to ask them about this crazy rap thing. And you know a whole lot more right now than they ever thought about, you know? And some of them are going to do it with you now. Some of them are not, because it's a timing thing. They're just going to fight you for a while. Okay? So don't let the people, you know, your good ones, everybody's got those good ones? Just me? Everybody's got those good ones in their mind. Don't let those good ones that tell you no for now stop you. That's another thing that just drives me crazy. How in the world am I going to let my whole future be determined by somebody else's choice? Am I going to let my whole future be determined by somebody else's choice? No, 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 no. I'm not ever going to let somebody else decide for me what I am going to do. I'm going to go out and do it. And we have, and we still are. And because of that, Chad was talking about the good bonus. I was trying to count it up in the back. We've had almost $5 million in good bonuses earned in the last 2 months. The last 2 months alone. And what's amazing is we ain't never got one of them. Yeah, we're with this one. I mean, that's how you get ahead in this crazy thing. Like I was saying earlier, you go help a bunch of other people, man. There's a crazy guy. His name's Randy Gage. He's got some really good stuff. He's kind of radical on some things. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's probably right more than he's wrong. But anyway, this book came out a couple of years ago. It's called Risky is the New Safe. And it kind of ties into what I was talking about. The most risky thing you can do is follow that so-called career path to success right now. You've got to do your own thing. I mean, how many of you heard me talk about millionaire school? Anybody? You know, you've been in millionaire school all day, so I applaud you for that. You guys and gals out there at home. You're in millionaire school, man. You just got to stay in class for a while, you know, and that's exactly what you've done here today. You know, you got to go through some stuff. There is no progress without struggle. There is no progress without struggle, and we hate that part. All of us do. I don't like it, but it's part of the deal, okay? If I tell you, and I am telling you, that is part of the deal. You're going to go through some stuff. We have, and we continue to today. Okay? Okay? You with me? Yes. So just be ready for it. That's another thing Napoleon Hill said. There is no great success without tremendous adversity. All these men have gone through tremendous adversity. They've made fortunes and lost them. Made them and lost them. Lost spouses, lost children. You know, we've experienced that. It's awful. It's terrible. It still hurts. There's not a day go by I don't miss my daughter. You know, it's a choice. It's a choice. We could choose just to lay at home and lay in bed and get the doctor to write a script or whatever and zone out and get divorced like most people do if they lost a child. I think the statistics is 89% don't stay married. But it's a choice. We made a choice to each other way back when. And we're in here for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer. The death do us part. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. You're going to have to go through some of those choices. I'm not sugarcoating this, because this is life. This is real life for real people. You got real people's hands, life in your hands. You don't realize that now. And it's hard. If you're brand new, understand that. It's hard for you to understand what I'm even talking about. We're talking about money and this and that. It's like, wow, all this money. When we first went to one of these networking meetings, I was 34 years old. We had 4 small kids at home. I loved to race sailplanes, glider planes. They have no motor, so you know I'm crazy. But that was my dream, was to be the national champion sailplane racer. And to get the plane I wanted was going to cost me about $60,000 in 1990, you know. And I was a carpenter, framing, building houses all over Middle Tennessee, hundreds, thousands of houses I put up. I didn't have any money to do something like that. The national race was a 10-day race. I had to take off work for 2 weeks. I had to shut my business down pretty much for 2 weeks, have the money to buy the entry fee, the plane to race, the time to go, and still feed my kids. How am I going to do that, right? This networking thing comes along. These people are talking about all this money and extra money, and I'm thinking, man, these people are crazy. There's no such thing as extra money. There's surely no extra money in my house. You know, when one of my kids needed shoes, all 4 of them needed them, you know. Mel tells that story on me where I gave her $100 to go to some school shopping. And I was mad because there wasn't any money back, you know. That's what I was going to eat lunch on that week. You know what I mean? So I tell you that to let you know we're just the same as you. We've been through a lot of things in our life. We've experienced a lot of things, you know. And we just didn't jump into work and start making this kind of money that's on that chart. I don't know why it's not up, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, I said this before. Any Star Trekkies in here? Any Trekkies in here? If I could just do that Vulcan mind meld on you, you know, go Spock, you'd lock onto them and just, you know, just put your mind in this thing. You'd be ambassador by conference in January, man, you know? That's what happened with Chad and Jeree. You know, a lot of people look at Chad and Jeree and go, oh, man, they were so lucky. Wow, they sure were lucky. They must have got in right at the right time. They got in at the sweet spot. You're in at the sweet spot now. They just went to work, man. This couple came out of conference a year ago, January, and called us up on the phone and said, okay, we're serious. What do we need to do? Will you help us do some calls? And we did. Not very many. Wasn't very many calls. They never asked me to do another call for them. I don't know if I was so terrible, or they just said, okay, I got it. They're like, we got this, you know. And they just flat went to work. They had some life stuff happen to them, right? Good friend got blown up over there in the desert, over there in the Army. Chad realizes, man, that could have been me. We hang out together all the time, and now my best friend's dead. The child got deathly sick. They wouldn't even let him come home unless his child was about to die in the hospital. He could get emergency leave to come home to see his family. He's like, man, I don't like this. I'm going to change my situation. When the pain of staying the same gets more than the fear of change, you will start to change. When the pain of staying the same becomes more than the fear of change, you will start to change. You want to change your circumstances? Change them. That's profound, isn't it? That's right out of the book of Jesus, man. The faith stuff he's talking about. You have to have some faith in this crazy world, man. He said he gave us all some. It's like a mustard seed. If we had faith as a mustard seed, you can't even see one of them little things. And you can move mountains. And I go, wow, I'm a child of him. He's my dad. He wants the best for me. Don't you think God knows where the gold is? He knows where it is. I want to tap into him. I want to tap into his power. Say, Lord, keep me humble. Keep me wise. Keep me ever so out there where you would have me to be. Please, please. We pray. We prayed. We prayed for ourselves. We started praying for you guys. And that's when things really started taking off for us. We would pray for divine appointments. You know, we built this thing, Ambassador, without Facebook. Can you believe that? There was no Facebook that we knew of in 2009. We went Ambassador in October of 2009. When we got in, when Mel signed up, people weren't even texting back then. They weren't. If you texted, you had the phone, you hit all the little keys, trying to spell the letters. Spelled about too long, you go, oh, heck with that, I'll just call them, you know. That's where it was at. I mean, she uses Facebook now. I still don't have a Facebook page. I've been trying to put it off, and they're kicking me and pushing me. You know. But I say that to let you know, like they were saying, don't get hung up about it. You don't know how to do an Instagram message? Don't let that stop you from going Ambassador, like Tina said. You don't have a business page yet? Don't worry about it. Just get you a bunch of Blitz cards. I'm going to give you a great tip. When you guys head out of here today, how many people got at least 100 contacts in their phone right now? Every hand should go up. I mean, pretty much. You know, you're living under rocks somewhere. Even I got more than that. When you leave out of here, if you haven't already, send a message to your contact list. Have you tried that crazy rap thing? Contact me to find out what or how or who. You hear me? We're serious about this thing, man. We have fun, and we have a lot of fun. I was telling Michael the other night at dinner, I said, man, it's like 6 Saturdays and a Sunday at our house. You know, I can't, like, what day is this anymore, you know? We have a blast everywhere we go, but we work hard, and we take this serious, very serious, you know? When the company, we're building that billion-dollar brand with It Works. We're building that billion-dollar brand. My goal of that's to be doing $100 million for our team.
Yes.
And I got to keep raising that number, right? You know? We're paying $50 million in good bonuses to our group. You with me? Are you with me? That's what we're looking for. That's what Tina's looking for. That's Chad Green. I don't want to leave anybody out. Susan and Michael. Oh, Brooke. I don't know if she's still here. Brooke. There you are. All these people, that's what they're looking for, man. They're looking for people that go, okay, I'm willing to get a little bit crazy. I got to get out of my comfort zone, like Vicki said. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to quit worrying about what people think. You think we care what people think? Not in a rude way. They just don't know what we know. They just don't know what we know. I feel sorry for them when they tell us no. Like, man, we can help you change your whole situation. You're going to have to do some work. You're going to do a lot of work. So we're not going to do it for you. We'll do it with you. We're not going to do it for you. Okay? So that's part of the deal. Not everybody's going to do this. Y'all got that, right? They're just not. I wish they would. We want everybody to do this. We know what this can do for everybody. If they just take the products, even if they don't make the money, if they just take the products, it can change their whole life, man. We've been on these things for almost 9 years. It's like, wow, this is what happens to you, you know? So not everybody's going to do it. Some of them are going to come along later. That's our story. You know, Melody got in. She got off to a great start. Just about everybody fizzled out. Ain't that right? I forget your name. I am so sorry. Renee. I'm picking on her. Renee. She got in way back then, too, in 2005. The whole upline just took a powder, it seemed like. We looked around after a few months like, where'd everybody go? You know, they had a lot of faith in us, didn't they, you know? So it turned out our upline was Mark and Pam. You know, you talk about tough upline. You want somebody a shoulder to cry on or give excuses to? You gonna give it to Mark Pentecost? I don't think so. You know, we tried a few times. Awesome people, man. But we've been through it all. I mean, we have seen a lot, and we've lived through a lot. And I tell you, I can stand up here and tell you in all sincerity that if we can do this, you can do this. You can do this. You're going to have to change. And I know that's a scary thing because we're naturally, like everybody was saying, it's a natural fear to be scared of the unknown. You know, I don't know. God gave us that to keep us safe from those lions and tigers want to eat us or whatever. You know, you just don't know what's out there in that jungle or whatever. So it's a natural fear to be kind of fearful of the unknown. But you're going to earn as you learn in this crazy thing. You don't have to know everything it takes to be a super duper Susan Wade right now, this moment, to make it. Susan didn't start out that way. I know Jeree didn't start out that way. I remember talking to Jeree last summer about this time, about some Facebook stuff. We were trying to get help from Jeree. He's like, "Wait, what are you doing, man? God, we're missing that. What are you doing?" She didn't start out that way. She learned. She learned as she went. She learned as she went. She put in hours. And she continues to. Everybody kind of made fun about it. She said, "Well, I didn't take a shower for a month." You know, and Chad told me, "Yeah, you got to take a shower, baby," you know. But she was just so focused on where she was going and working and working and working. She said, "Well, I wouldn't do that." I was like, "Well, you won't go on master in a year either. What's the choice? You're going to work for that job just above broke?" That's what a job is, you know. It's just above broke. They'll pay you just enough where you don't quit, and you do just enough work where they don't fire you. You know, it's kind of that marriage at work. That's all that job is designed to do, y'all. It's not designed to help you get financially free. And most people that tried traditional businesses, I was one of them. I tip my hat to those poor people because, my gosh, you talk about expenses. Michael was talking about that. If you can open up a business downtown, I had a construction company. Just my insurance payments were thousands of dollars a month for my insurance. One forklift was $70,000. I did everything I could to keep that thing running. That thing broke down at 5 o'clock, a 95-degree heat day in July. Guess who was out there trying to fix it till midnight? So that thing would crank up the next morning. I could boom up a big load of plywood or trusses, where those guys could deck that roof, and I'd get paid for it. Mwah! You have to learn. You got to do whatever it takes. You have to learn to do whatever it takes for a short period of time. For a short period of time. The payoff here with networking, with networks especially, it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. The St. Market text has been, I don't know, almost a year ago, whatever. We're running for Black Diamond and all that, and we missed about $3,000 on Melody's check. And I tell you a text, I said, "Oh man, we saw the commission run and our heart sank, and we were just kind of disappointed a little bit." But I told him, I said, "Man, but if you had told me a year ago that her check would only have been that huge amount, just 3,000 short of 100,000 for that month, I'd be excited and happy and fired up." So I am, you know. And I sent that to Mark, and he fired me back. He said, "Man, that's why I love you, Blair, because you got perspective on things." You know, we were disappointed. It's like, come on, you know. So then I kind of get cocky with him a little bit, and I said, "Man, you know, we're disappointed if it's not a six-figure a month. Isn't that crazy? Is that crazy? That is crazy, isn't it, when you add both together? It's insane. I mean, it's insane. These people, she's known us for a long time. We're just folks. We don't give up. We ain't never going to give up, man. You gotta realize that? Nobody can call you out in this game. It's baseball season, right? 3 strikes and you're out. Well, if that work starts, nobody counts the strikes. You're going to strike, you're going to swing, you're going to miss, you're going to hit some screwballs, some curveballs, some pop flies. You know, you're going to slide in home and get all bloody a little bit. But nobody can call you out of this game. And my attitude is, it's not over till I say it's over, and it's not over. Yeah. You learn to land on your back. When you get knocked down, you land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up and grab hold of the power that's up there to pull you up, and grab yourself out of the bootstraps and get your whole team up. The ones that aren't here today, I'm sorry for them, but they chose not to come, like Chad said. You just keep reaching up. You keep reaching for the glory. And you count all struggle as joy, because that's building your character. That's building your depth, right? How are you going to be able to pour and share into people's lives if you hadn't gone through nothing? Oh, I got in, and everybody signed up, and they all did their 2 customers, and they all run their auto ship, and man, their auto ship's $183, you know, baloney. You know, they say, "Get that bum off the stage, man," you know. That's not happening for us. It ain't going to happen for you. That's part of the deal, okay? We love everybody here. I haven't met half of you. We got a lot of new people coming out all the time. And, you know, our goal is to get to know you. Reach out, man. Reach out to these leaders that spoke on the stage tonight. These girls that did this blitzing panel. Aren't they awesome? They're these 20-somethings. I'm telling the kids, they're 10 years younger than my kids, but they're just a kid. So think, what's gotten into the kids today, man? You know, they're looking at making $100,000 a month. That's what, you know. And they're not listening to lies out there. You know. So just determine in your mind how much of this pie you're going to carve out as we build this billion-dollar brand together. And just don't quit till you get it. That's the secret. Just don't quit till you get it. Know what you want. And like Jerry said, when she first wrote that number on her mirror, I mean, when you first do something like that, that other half of your brain goes, because you don't know how in the world you're going to get that done. Isn't that true? That was true for us. We wrote 108,000 on our mirror. When we wrote that, it's pure faith. Pure faith. Nelson, she got less trouble with that than me, but I'm thinking, how? Man, I look at this, look at that, go, oh gosh, I better start praying, huh? So when you first do something like that, I guarantee you, that other half of your brain's going to go, no way, you are totally crazy, because you're looking at it now, and you're looking at right in front of you, instead of looking up. So just be bold, step out, this is working, this is your shot. This is your shot. That's what we realized. This was our shot. Out of all the things we tried, and all the bruises we had, the scars I have, and all this stuff, this was my shot. So that's all I wanted. I think everybody in this room, that's all you really want. I didn't want somebody just to hand it to me. I'd have probably taken it if they did, you know. But we were willing to work for it and earn it, you know. And just give me a shot at it, man. And that's what you've been given. You've been given a shot. You've been given an opportunity to pass it on to somebody else. Somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else. And then you'll be blessed when it takes you 2 weeks to call everybody promoted in the last month of your group and earning $5 million in good bonuses, and that's just the money on top. That's not even the comp money plan money. It's like, my gosh, it's a phenomenal way to live. You need to know how that feels. It's incredible. You deserve it. You believe you deserve it?
Absolutely.
I mean, there was a point in time I don't think I did. I had to get there. I had to change. But you deserve it. You can do it. It's there. It's there. Look over all Middle Tennessee, and we're pulling these kind of numbers. I mean, a lot of them are at home. I realize that. It's like, man, we should be down there at that arena. I got that on my dream board, and I've had it on there for about 4 years. You know, we should be filling that arena up downtown, man. Y'all with me? With the opportunity we have in our hands? We ain't even seen nothing yet. Like Jay was saying, we can scratch and scratch and scratch. We ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, man. I can't get that. But anyway, I guess we're going along. But I love you guys. If you haven't met us, come on, give us a big hug. Shake your hand, give a big hug, high fives, have dance, all that fun stuff. Set your goals, please. Set your goals. There was a study done that said that most people, if they have a goal, they never wrote it down. And the people that did write it down were 90% likely to attain that goal. That's phenomenal. You'll just take the courage to write it down on paper. If you're brand new, I'm going to be diamond by October. I'm going to be diamond by July. I'm going to be diamond by June, whatever. And just write it down. You got that target you're striving for, like Chad said, begin with the end in mind. And you may or may not hit it, but if you don't hit it, you'll be much further down the road than if you did maybe try, right? So dream big, dare to be different, dare to be different. Step out a little bit. It don't take much to be a little bit different in this world. It's sad. In the greatest country on the planet Earth, so many people are walking around, you know, they got no hope. You can see it in their eyes. Here in America, it just rocks me to my core. So help us, right?
Yes.
We need help.
Yes.
We'd love to have you. We want to have you. Mel, come back up here, baby. This is the gal. There's that video. Shows that one crazy dancing. Y'all seen that video? You dancing. Nobody dancing. Everybody just kind of looking. Well, this was her 9 years ago. She was doing that dance. Got me joining doing that dance, you know. And I look at it. In the last month, we had over 16,000 people join our team, distributors and customers in 1 month. So still doing that dance. You know, 350 million people in America, 7 billion worldwide. We haven't even hit India and China yet. We're going to. South America's coming next year. Doing that dance. People laughing at y'all, those crazy rap people. I sure hope so. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like those who's working at jobs still. I'd hate to think I stood out there framing houses, Amy. So you just do that. Join us doing that crazy dance and set those goals, set those dreams. We love you, okay? Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Y'all seen that video?